All right, we're going to start by factoring out a common factor. We're on Unit H today, all about factoring. So it says a common factor it wants us to take out of the expression. So something all three of these have in common is 9. And I'm going to go ahead and take out a -9 because we like our leading coefficient to be positive whenever possible. Then number 2. It looks like 7 is a common factor, and I'm going to go ahead and take out a -7. So I need a -4 there. But I'm dividing everything by -7. Okay, here 5 is definitely a common factor, but I can also take out a v because they all have a v. So if I divide everything by 5v, then I have 8v squared, 3v, and -6. Here, 3 would definitely be a common factor, and then I'm also going to take out an a squared because you want to take out as many as possible. So whichever has the smallest exponent, you can always remove. So we have 4a squared, 10a, and -5. Topic 2, factor completely. So I want factors of 54 that add to 15, which would be 9 and 6. So x plus 9 and x plus 6. Here I want factors of 42 that add to 13. So that'd be 6 and 7. Factors of 14 that add to -9 would be -7 and -2. Factors of 21 that add to -10 would be -7 and -3. Factors of 6 that add to -7 would be -6 and -1. Factors of 63 that add to 16 would be 9 and 7. Factors of -48 that add to +2 would be 8 and 6. And I'd want my 8 to be positive and my 6 to be negative. Factors of -12 that add to 4 would be +6 and -2. Factors of -20 that add to -6 would be -9 and +3. Factors of -8 that add to -2 would be -4 and +2. Factors of -18 that add to 7 would be +9 and -2. Factors of -50 that add to -5 would be -10 and +5. Difference of two squares. So if both of these are perfect squares, and then you want the square root of each, so the square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 81 is 9, and then you want one that's addition and one that's subtraction. Same here, the square root of 49k squared is 7k, the square root of 9 is 3, you want one that's addition and one that's subtraction. All right, factor completely. So I'm going to start by taking out any common factors that I can. So in this case, I can pull a 3 out for sure. And then factors of -60 that add to +4 would be +10 and -6. And you want to make sure that 3 is still out in front. Here, again, I'm going to pull out a 6. It's my common factor for all three terms. And then factors of +3 that add to -4 are -3 and -1. Here, I'm going to take a 4 out first, hopefully. So 324 divided by 4 is 81. So that's the difference of squares. So I have r minus sign and r plus sign. Here I'm going to take out a 5, and then I have a difference of squares. So x minus 6 and x plus 6. Okay, now we're getting into the ones where we can't plot a common factor. There's no common factor for these three. So I'm going to use my box method. And really it's kind of like the opposite of when we are multiplying. So I'm going to put 2n squared here and 15 here. And then I want factors of 30 that add to negative 11. So I think that would be negative 6 and negative 5. So I'm splitting that middle term into negative 6n and negative 5n. Then you can pull out a greatest common factor for each row and each column. So here I'm going to pull out 2n, negative 5. And you want to make your term with a variable positive whenever possible. So I'm going to pull out a negative 5. Here I have to pull out an n and a negative 3. So then I would have 2n minus 5 and n minus 3. Same here. It looks like we're going to have to do the same thing. So it looks like I want factors of negative 240 that would add to 22. Which, let's look. Okay, so positive 30 and negative 8 would work. So I'm going to split that to 30v and negative 8v. So this would, I can pull out a 5v for this row, a negative 8, a v, and a 6. So we'd have 5v minus 8 times v plus 6. All right, same idea. I'm going to have to split that middle term. So I want factors of 18 that add to 9, which would be 6 and 3. So I'm going to use 6v and 3v. So I have a common factor of 3v. The only common factor here I have is 1. And I have 3v and 2. So this would be 3v plus 1 and 3v plus 2. All right, here I'm going to need to set up my box. I need factors of 140 that add to negative 39. So negative 35 and negative 4 would work. So that's what I'm going to use. So I can pull out a 5x, a negative 2, 2x, and negative 7. So I have 5x minus 2 times 2x minus 7. All right, here I'm pretty sure I can pull out a 3, so let's do that first. 4b squared minus 25b plus 25. And then I'm going to use my box method on this section. And then I want factors of 100 that add to negative 25. So that should be negative 20 and negative 5. So then I can pull out 4b, negative 5b, and negative 5. So that'd be 4b minus 5 times b minus 5. All right, here I can pull out a 2 for sure, so we'll start there. And then it looks like I want factors of negative 48 that add to 13. Okay, so I think that'd be positive 16 and negative 3. So we'll put those in our box here. So that'd be 4x, negative 3x, and 4. All right, and that's it for today. A lot of factoring going on. So your assignment for the rest of class is to work on the Unit H yellow pages in this same book.